So here's our last problem on section 5. We need to find the tangent line here. Well, you know, to find a tangent line, you need to have a slope. And you need to have a point. In this case, they give you a point. So really, we just have to find a slope. And you know by this point, to find your slope of a tangent line, you need to go ahead and do your derivative. Well, you do your derivative of x to the fourth. Now, we have an x squared times a y squared, so that's a product rule, so you have to do derivative of the first. I must have did it backwards, but you can add, so that's why you can do it in any order you want. Derivative of the first times the second, plus the first times the derivative of the second. Put the 2 in front, decrease it by 1, then you have to do chain rule, derivative of the inside, derivative of y with respect to x. And then you'd have to do the derivative of this here. So you put 2 in front, decrease it by 1, derivative of the inside, derivative of the y with respect to x. Derivative of the right side is 0. Now, the two terms with dy over dx we'll leave on the left side. The two terms that don't have dy over dx's we'll take to the other side. So we'll take our 4x cubed and subtract it to the other side. We'll take our 2x squared y cubed, or squared, to the other side. And then we can go ahead and pull out in a dy over dx. So just be aware of that, of what it is I'm doing here. Now, all we have to do is to go ahead and finish getting dy over dx by itself. We have dy over dx multiplied by something, so all we have to do is a little bit of division. So we end up getting this as our derivative, which everything's not working right. Okay, so all we have to do now is take our point, which we have down here, and plug it in. We have our x, which is root 2 over 2. Plug it in here, here, and here. Our y also happens to be root 2 over 2, so we can plug it in here and here. So plug that in. Our x in front, root 2 over 2. Our 2 times our root 2 over 2. Well, if you square root 2 over 2, you square the top and square the bottom. Square the top, you get 2. Square the bottom, you get 4. Well, that's just a half. Plus, well, you're plugging in root 2 over 2 here and squaring it, so that's a half. Plug it in down here in the bottom. Well, that's for your y. That's root 2 over 2. Plug it in here. It's an x squared. Well, you square your root 2 over 2. Once again, that's a half. So you can see that we have the same thing in front, a root 2 over 2 times the top and root 2 over 2 times the bottom. So we really just have to deal with this right here. 2 times a half is 1 plus a half, so 1 plus a half, you should know, is 3 halves. 1 minus a half, you know, is a half. Instead of dividing by fraction, multiply by the reciprocal, so you get 3. So you now have a point and a slope, so you plug in to your point slope formula, plug in your slope, plug in the y value, plug in the x value, distribute through, and get y by itself, and you get the equation of your tangent line.